The Story of My Experiments with Truth, an Autobiography by M.K. Gandhi. That's Mohandas Gandhi, or known by his honorific, Mahatma Gandhi. This is a complete and unabridged edition put out by the Classic Library, which I guess is an imprint or a publishing company in India, because I know this was published in India. So it's bound in this leathery kind of feeling binding. That's the spine. And the pages themselves are, well, they're not ultra thin like a Bible or something like that, but they're fine. They're reasonable. And this edition comes with a little ribbon, which is always helpful. The binding is just a glued binding. So it might not last many, many readings. And I think there's only one person who's ever done the translation, and that's this person, Mahadev Desai or Desai, I'm not sure. And so that's the idea. There's not a lot to look at inside. And it covers his life from childhood to like the early 20s. In other words, it in this book finishes before independence, before India gains its independence from Britain. So there's no big payoff. There's no big, hey, and then we were all done, and then I became prime minister or something like that. That's not what happens here. He's still in the middle of the struggle when he's writing this book. Apparently it was published serially. It came out, a little bit at a time. Any case, as I say, it talks about his childhood, and then as an adult, he was already famous by the time this was written. He'd spent time in prison. He says that it's not a normal autobiography, that it is instead an exploration of his experiments with truth. But then, he says, since his whole life has been experiments with truth, naturally, if he writes about that, it's going to have an autobiographical feel to it. But he's sort of like, oh, but if this was nothing autobiographical other than my experiments with truth, that's okay with me. That's what I'm looking to write here. Well, you can judge that on your own. In any case, I haven't read the entire thing, but from what I have read, it just seems autobiographical to me. Though I'm not sure exactly what he means by how he would distinguish an autobiography from his experiments with truth. Anyway, I find the writing to be pretty simple and clear and easy enough to follow. And, there's so many books I've picked up because I've been interested in parts of it. This was actually a gift to me, but I was very glad to get the gift. And so we'll leave it there. That's Mahatma Gandhi, The Story of My Experiments with Truth, an Autobiography.